Hello and welcome to episode 226 of
The Eldritch Podblast.
I am Mags.
I am Jack.
And we are a Dungeons & Dragons social commentary podcast. We focus on the social aspect of D&D.
We give out advice to Dungeon Masters and players, old and new.
But most importantly, we believe in creating a safe, inclusive, and welcome space.
So if that sounds good to you, say hi to my dog.
Say hi to my boy.
Right now, in the comments.
Everyone in the comments, hello boy.
And if there isn't exactly the same amount of comments
Yep.
as there is views saying hello bully,
Then we're quitting.
we're quitting. Podcast over.
Hi everyone, happy Monday. I hope you've had a great weekend and a good week. Here's TGIM, right? Thank God it's Monday.
Can't wait to get back to work.
That's why.
Woo!
I love the grind.
Can't wait to clock in.
Woo!
Woo!
This is where you find out we have guns pointed to our heads by Big Corpo.
Yeah. Big Pharma, Big Cheese.
Yeah,
all the bigs.
Yeah.
Mr. Big.
Mr. Big. What does Mr. Big do?
Runs all the corporations.
Boo.
Boo.
Boo. Well, hello.
Anyway.
So you looked at me so weird when we were in the intro. I looked over and you were looking at me so funny.
In what way?
I don't know.
Why?
You just looked really.
Why was it weird?
You were like, I don't know. It was just really funny. How are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah.
Good. I'm warm actually. I tried to put the fan on, but it's not plugged in, and I'm too
You'll-
lazy to go plug
You'll
it
cool
in.
down in a bit because you were up and around and moving.
I was.
Stuff.
I did we start trying to film, and did I not start record?
Yes.
Yeah.
I noticed before we
actually,
started.
we were just about to clap in, and you noticed,
Yeah.
thankfully.
Yeah. So it's recording now. Hopefully,
Right?
I can see it.
Yeah, and my phone is on low battery, so who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows? Professional podcasters,
Let's not
award-winning
mess around, am I right?
podcasters, best podcast hosts according to the Grit Award.
Best podcast hosts. That's us.
That's us.
That's us.
Yeah,
That's
we're
what we
accredited now.
do. Yeah, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
We just do, man. We just don't not do.
No.
We just do.
We move.
We do be doing.
Yeah.
I'm doing it.
what
Which I
What-
wish me do.
what have you been up to?
Not a huge amount.
Yeah. same.
Because I fell out with my guild in Classic WoW.
Mhm.
A long story.
Yeah.
There's some really, really big surprise childish men
Wow.
in that guild
Wow.
who felt it right to punish a 31-year-old man for making sure his wife's toothache wasn't killing her, so he couldn't turn up to raid. Cancelled well in advance as well, by the way. I didn't just leave him in the lurch. I wasn't like, hey, by the way, I'm coming, and then just ghosted them. I was like, they put up the, are you coming? And then I was like, no.
Yeah, so what's the point of even putting it up if you don't?
I know,
say
yeah. What's the
no?
point of putting it up? Should we move that light? Or is it all right?
I'm not moving.
All right. If it looks a little dark over there,
Hey, I'm not moving. Sorry
It is
about
what
that.
it is.
In post. Go on, post.
I can do post.
Yeah.
I can do post. So yeah, and then I called them out on it, and they were like, "We don't like you calling us out on it.
Wow, what a surprise.
You shouldn't. We're punishing you." And
Yeah,
I was like,
wow.
"Why are you doing that?" And they were like, "Stop questioning us." And then they kicked me out of the guild.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. Yeah, f- that guild. Oh no. Was that close as well?
No, not even.
All right.
Considering that time has started before we even. Well,
Well, put it in.
there we go.
Look, last thing I want to do is get demonetized on the pennies they already pay us.
True. So true.
So yeah, that's what I've been doing. And then I was like, do you want to know what? Maybe I just missed raiding.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll get back in touch with my old guild lead
Yeah.
from
Like in retail.
and see if they're still raiding. They're only raiding once a week, and it's on a Tuesday, so I could only turn up every 2 weeks. But
Yeah.
it could still be fun.
Yeah,
And, it gets me back in the groove
Exactly.
for.
It prepares you for midnight.
The problem is, she was like, I can slot you in as a DPS, no problem at all. We need DPS. She's like, but slotting you in as a tank would be harder. I haven't DPS'd in retail WoW since Shadowlands.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to practice.
Yeah, but you've got plenty of time. You've got 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Plenty of time.
two
Seriously,
weeks
that's
to
plenty.
learn a class I've never played
Yeah,
before.
that's plenty of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that really is. For you, that's plenty of time.
I'm like, should I play my Heat Demon Hunter because it's geared? I could probably get something geared enough in
Demon
2
Hunter's
weeks.
going to be great in midnight.
Yeah, to be fair, I could play the new spec, couldn't
Yeah,
I?
you could play the Void. Yeah.
Yeah, I could play Devourer or whatever it's
I
called.
think.
Talk a little closer to you, Mike.
I think Demon Hunter's a good shout.
Yeah, and like it means I could still tank. I think I'm done with tanking. I think I just want to play DPS.
Yeah, that's fair.
Thing is, I'm like, maybe I could tank in raid.
Yeah.
But tanking in raid is really boring.
Yeah. You could just tank in dungeons.
Yeah, but that's the more stressful one.
Yeah.
That's the more stressful
yes, it
one.
is. Yeah.
Like tanking in raid is easy because you just stand there and get hit.
Yeah.
Press the defensive when something's about to happen to you.
Yeah.
And then somebody else taunts the boss.
I thought you said it was boring though.
It is boring.
Yeah. So just play DPS.
Yeah, but then it's harder to get into a raid.
True.
Like,
but I mean, not if you have a set raid.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that is true. That is true.
Like you have a set raid, so I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah.
And if you want to do dungeons, then you can tank.
Yeah. See, I think I'm just gonna try DPS.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
I am just gonna try DPS.
Yep.
And I'm just.
I get the feeling in 2 months you're gonna be like, I hate being a DPS. So, I'm gonna need to tank again.
So the thing is, the reason I started tanking was because all of the tanks in Mythic Plus were bad.
Yeah, and it's gonna be the same thing over and over.
But my hope and prayer is I'll grovel to Dom and I'll be like, Dom,
yes.
I know you love being the tank, right, Dom?
Yes,
because he does like to talk.
He does.
He
does. Yes, he does. Dom's one of our friends.
He usually DPSs because I tank.
Great point.
So I might just be like, Dom, you want to tank?
Go on, you're such a great tank.
You love tanking.
Yeah, totally.
And then I'll DPS.
Nice.
And that'll be fun.
That sounds great.
So that sounds good.
Yeah.
And then he can do all the routes and that because me and Dom just ended up doing it all together. But if he just wants to do it, I'll just follow his lead. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
So that's what I've been doing.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to get back into retail. I'm going to log in tonight and start to gear more.
Yeah.
And try and figure out how to play this spec that
I
literally never played in my life.
You'll be fine. 2 weeks is plenty of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. How about you?
You know what? I was like, nothing much. That's such a lie. So many things have happened. I went to the dentist.
You did go to the dentist.
I forgot when the last time we filmed was. I've been to the dentist.
You did.
Now, if you didn't know, in December last year, we are currently in October at the time of filming, I cracked my tooth.
Yeah, on a hard-boiled licorice sweet.
Yeah, on a mint humbug.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Merry Chrysler.
And to all a good night.
Exactly. Goodbye. The screen goes black.
Yeah.
But please edit the screen going black. Please.
I was just about to sing Mr. Sandman.
Nice.
I was trying to do Mariah Carey's song.
It's okay. Anyway, I cracked my tooth in December.
Bow, 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 bow. You cracked your tooth in December.
Huh?
You cracked your tooth in December.
Huh?
You cracked your tooth in December.
I did. I cracked my tooth in December.
Yeah.
And it was fine. It didn't hurt.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that I shouldn't have gotten it looked at.
Yeah, probably.
I should have. But, you know, it didn't hurt. It was fine. And I couldn't eat on that side of my mouth anymore. But I was like, oh, such is life. Big fear of the dentist, by the way, if you couldn't tell. In the UK, no dentists. Like, all dentists, absolutely.
Well, you can go private. It's just...
Which is painfully expensive.
Which
we couldn't afford. It was too expensive. Yeah. So...
When you've got national healthcare, you should be able to access the national healthcare.
Yes, exactly.
That's what my tax paying
goes
money
goes
to fund.
Exactly.
Yeah, it seems to be underfunded.
Yeah. Wow.
I wonder why.
Look at that. Hate you, Keir Starmer. Anyway,
I hate all of you.
I cracked my tooth in December.
Oh my god.
And I haven't. And I haven't been able to eat on it.
No.
It hurt every now and then the past month, every now and then I'd get like a twinge in it, and it felt like a nerve thing, right? It didn't necessarily hurt. It felt like an electric shock throughout my face, and it was concerning when I was like, I can ignore this still. Cut to a couple of Thursdays ago at this point now, and
last Thursday,
worst pain I think I've ever been in my life. Like, it was debilitating.
Head in your hands.
Yeah, I couldn't talk.
Could barely open your mouth.
I felt like I was gonna throw up. It was one of the worst pains I've ever been in my life. And at that point, I was like, I have to get something done here. I have to go to the dentist. We managed to find it. It's kind of a mix between like a private and NHS. Anyway, we find one.
It's an NHS dentist that takes on private patients.
Yes, exactly. So I still had to pay a lot of money, but it was worth it. So I go. Haven't been to the dentist in like over a decade, and I'm telling you this because I want this. If you're in a similar position where you've been putting off going to the dentist or going to the doctor or just getting something done because you're scared, I get it. But I go, no judgment. And I mean no judgment.
Yeah.
Completely understanding, very kind, talk me through everything, can see I'm a bit nervous. They do my teeth check. My teeth really aren't that bad. I was worried that they were going to be like, you're going to lose every single one of your teeth
Which
today, by
they
the
were
way.
never going to say.
I was very scared of it. Paid close attention to my tooth. Turns out there was an infection in it, and it looks like the tooth could be dying. We're not certain about it yet. There is nerve damage. I had to get local anesthetic and I had to get it sorted out. And I think his words were freeze, healed, and packed.
And what that means is they were going to numb the tooth.
Yep.
They were going to put some medicine in the tooth to make sure that it wasn't infected anymore.
They were going to clear out all the decay so they could take a look at the root and the nerve.
And then they're going to fill it.
Exactly. Very scary things to hear, but he talked me through everything. I'm being so serious. I felt nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. It didn't even hurt getting the injection in my mouth. I was very scared of getting it done. When everything was going on, the first time you experience anything, it's scary, right? Especially something like that. I was you hear all these horror stories about people being like, the anesthetic didn't work. I felt everything.
Yeah.
So I was waiting while he was doing it for me to feel something. Nothing. I felt nothing.
Yeah.
He sorted a problem I've been struggling with for 10 months in about 8 minutes.
Yeah.
And I've been in no pain
You've
whatsoever
even
since.
been able to eat on that side of your
I can
mouth.
eat on this side of my mouth. It's not a permanent solution
because
we reckon that the tooth is going to die. I am going to have to either have it removed or I'm going to have to get a root filling.
Yeah.
But that's, he said, like, don't worry about that now. Just let's do this. And
at this point, if the filling maybe falls out or if it actually begins to like hurt again.
Yeah, they said if it hurts again, I have to go back in.
Then get yourself booked in. But for now, it's just...
Yeah, totally.
We're
it's
fine.
Neutral now. And I didn't realize how much I think my mouth health was related to all of my other healths.
Yeah.
And I've been feeling so much better. It's such a load off not worrying about it. So please, if I am so chronically scared of everything. I am fearful of the dentist. I'm fearful of my health. I'm fearful of everything. If someone like me can go and be remedied 10 months of honestly suffering in 8 minutes, I promise you can as well.
You can do it too.
So let this please, if you're putting off getting a dentist appointment, a doctor's appointment, your smear test, a blood test, anything, please go. It is worth it. There is only one of you and you have to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
So please let that
be
a PSA.
How about that?
And
so do it.
My life is significantly improved
because of it.
In 8 minutes.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I felt nothing.
Good.
And then I got to have a McDonald's breakfast. So
that was the treat.
That was the treat.
That was the treat on the other side.
Yeah.
You know?
So there you go. But
she drove a hard bargain.
Yeah. Apart from that, that's it. But that's we've been doing a lot. We had the dentist appointment. I had to get my blood taken. I'm okay, I think. And you had a haircut. Haven't contacted me. So no news.
They don't contact
news.
you. It's usually good news.
Exactly. So yeah, it's all been going on, and then we've got Comic-Con at the end of the month. We've just come off the back of September.
I need to tax my car. I think I've been driving around with my car. It's a good job I don't drive anywhere. But I also need to get my car booked in for its MOT and service and insurance and all that good. That good.
Being an adult, am I right?
Really expensive stuff.
Yep. Love being an adult. Love being 31 years
old. So
32.
all that to say. Hey, why don't you become a patron? It's a fantastic way to support the channel. You can become a YouTube member or a Patreon. The join button is down below. The link to the Patreon is in the description. It's a fantastic way to support the channel. Thank you so much to all our patrons. Anything else?
No, that's it. We're live right now.
We're
Come
live on
over.
Twitch.
We're actually probably doing some really fun stuff, to be honest with you. We hit all of our September goals, and we've put out, before you've seen this, like a schedule. There might be something scheduled for fun today. Yeah. So come on over. We're live literally right now. Twitch.tv/eldritchpodblast.
This Friday on Twitch.
It's Jack's birthday.
It's my birthday on the Saturday, so we're going to be celebrating on the Friday. Margaret's going to be making me 20 crepes as my 20 crepe challenge for hitting our final September goal is going to be taking place. And
he's not going to eat them all. There's no way.
Challenge accepted.
There's no way, respectfully. But Yes, this Friday, if you're watching on the Monday, please, Friday the 17th of October, please come on over. It is Jack's birthday. We're going to be doing a cooking stream and then just hanging out, I think, and eating 20 crepes together.
Come and celebrate with me.
It'd
Come
be
and say
great
hi.
to have you, indeed. Indeed.
I'm excited.
Me too. Me too. I'm really excited.
Make sure you subscribe, like, comment, all those good things. If you haven't said hi to my dog, why not?
Why are you even here?
Why are you not saying hi to my dog?
Yeah. Wow.
He's
you
12.
You're not saying hi to. Wow.
He's 12.
Come on. Say hello to the dog. Right. Well, with that, shall we get into it?
Yeah. Thank you so much to all our patrons and YouTube members.
You have no idea how much we appreciate your support.
Gain exclusive access either on Patreon or become a channel member here on YouTube for perks like channel badges and emotes on YouTube.
You get 2 extra and exclusive monthly live streams, including a roundtable with a cast of our D&D actual play, The Ascension of Farador, for all of your burning questions.
As well as an intimate D&D advice live stream where we can answer your D&D questions in depth and one-on-one.
If you would like to support us directly and gain access to these perks, check the link in the description to go to our Patreon or simply click the join button here on YouTube.
Thank you.
So today we are doing unpopular D&D opinions.
You put the timestamp down.
Yep.
That's why I pointed at the iPad.
I didn't know why you pointed it.
Unpopular.
I didn't know why you pointed at me. So we haven't done one of these in a little while.
Yeah.
Again, I feel like there's only so many unpopular opinions.
You can do this in such a small amount of time.
I say this. I feel like there's only so many unpopular opinions, and yet here we are with a full episode full of unpopular opinions. Indeed, some of them are longer because they're more conversational pieces. Some of them are just really short. But yeah, let's get into it. If you have any unpopular D&D opinions, any D&D hot takes, any horror stories, any Am I the Arsehole questions, send them into the link below. We have a submission form. We read them out on the podcast. And again, this is all completely, obviously, opinion. This is all subjective. If you agree with any of these opinions, that's okay.
So if you know, get really mad down in the comments. No, don't. The whole point is we're having a little bit of fun and we're just having making a little bit of content. So if you disagree with them, totally fine.
Yep, absolutely.
Things that you use at your table that we don't like doesn't mean you can't use it. Every table is different.
Absolutely. Yes, indeed. So the first one, and these are all from the Reddit. I'm more of a combat player. I will role play at the table, but it's not my thing. The problem is I like charisma-based classes. Warlock's my favorite, and I really want to play a bard or a support character, but both of them do come with a role of the face of the party. So my hot take is, players who play a charisma-based character, you shouldn't be obliged to say exactly what the character says. You can just say, I go and I try to convince them of doing this thing. I say this is a hot take from my experiences so far, because every time I say something like, I want to lie to the guard to convince us to let us into the city, the DM replies with, okay, well, what do you say to them? I mean, I don't know. I'm not charismatic here. My character is. He knows what to say, not me. As a DM, you will never demand from a player who plays a wizard to know how to solve differential equations, for a barbarian to lift over 5 times of their weight, or for a druid to know every animal and plant species.
It's true.
Yeah.
And this, I think, the thing is, the problem is I don't hate the tables that are like, what do you say to lie?
Yeah, because us.
My players want to do that.
Exactly.
They want to say those things out loud.
Yeah.
They want to say, like, the lie. They want to fool the guard.
Yeah, exactly.
They want to be quick-witted and stuff like that, and I don't want to deny them the chance. So it's just that is just a difference in play style. But the thing is, a lot of people feel like this play style is just invalid.
Yeah, totally.
Like, if you can't say something smart enough that's a lie, then you don't even get to roll.
Yeah, and such a great point. Like, you don't ask the wizards to have to solve these things and the barbarian. And it's hard, isn't it? Because charisma is such a blurred line, I think. Because you could argue that any form of role play has a level of, charisma back and forth. Yeah. And when you're doing a charisma check, it's a level of a back and forth. It's something that actually is tangible. Whereas, something like a wizard's solving an equation isn't necessarily tangible. A barbarian in real life having to lift something up isn't necessarily tangible in the game.
Yeah.
Whereas having a conversation and lying to someone, you can do in game and out of game easily. You know?
And it's because the whole game is told by talking.
Speech. Yeah.
So then it's expected. And I think that I actually completely agree. Just because I'm playing a charisma-based class doesn't mean I'm the de facto face of the party.
No.
Like, some people just like being the face of the party and talking to NPCs.
Yeah, me. I love being the face of the party.
Some people care far less about it. Like Josh, I don't think Josh, like, when he played his sorcerer, he actually played a very miserable sort of quiet member of the party. Yeah. But then when it came to like persuading shopkeepers, people were like, "Go on." It's just like, why does he have to do it?
Yeah.
Even we fell into that trap
we did.
of like trying to make him do it. But just because you play the charisma class doesn't mean you should be.
Yeah, and you know, vice versa. If you don't play the charisma class, doesn't mean you can't be charismatic.
Yeah.
And me, I always buff charisma in all of my characters because I love to talk to NPCs. Yeah. Like, I think this is such a great... I don't actually even think that this is a hot take, really. I can see why it would be at some tables, but I completely understand what OP is saying here. I should just be able to say, I'm going to lie to the guard to let us in.
And the thing is, I think there's a difference between like actually your DM actually wanting you to say something, and them just expecting that you want to say something to lie.
Yeah, totally.
Like, I think if you just set that out very clearly, it's like, I'm happy to be the face, but like, I don't want to come up with every single argument as to why I should be given this a discount, or I should be let through the gate and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Can I simply just say, I lie to the guard, I persuade the shopkeep, and that be enough? And I bet you the dungeon master will be like, sure.
Yeah,
but the expectation is that you're supposed to say something.
It's kind of like, you know, in game, there's somebody, for example, Caleb from Campaign 2 Critical Role, so many times Liam would be like, I don't know, but Caleb has alert, so he knows what time it is, and he knows. And it's things like that, like how it's like, it's okay for us to be like...
Oh yeah, of course you aren't as smart as a wizard.
Yeah.
But...
like, I agree.
I get it.
I don't think this is unpopular. I agree with this.
I agree with this.
I agree with this. I
think it would divide.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is...
What do you think?
Yeah, this is something that very, very, very much so I think is probably 50-50, right?
I agree.
Because I get it. I understand a DM going, well, what do you say?
Yeah.
Because we're playing a verbal game where,
that's just really the expectation.
It is the expectation.
We see it so much in like Critical Role, and we see it so much in all these like TTRPG actual players.
We do it. You know, we would
we
always
enjoy doing it.
Exactly.
We don't really have a player who doesn't enjoy doing it.
No.
So
yeah, I agree. So what do you think? I think this is really a polarizing one, actually, to be honest with you. But I agree. I agree. If especially you don't want to, but your class lends itself to, and that's something your character would do, I think this is okay. I think it really is.
As a hot take, I would agree with it.
Yeah. The next unpopular opinion is wanting to play a shitty character should be an IRL red flag. Every so often you see people on subs talking about wanting to play bad characters that grow out of it. Isn't this game about playing things that we want to play? If the character of someone is made a racist, a murderer, or an abhorrent person, does that mean that player would like to play that character themselves IRL? All characters I have ever made have some aspect of myself in it. Some of my harder aspects mostly in game, some are socially oblivious, are happy-go-lucky, prideful or family honor, so and so. But never have I wanted to play any downright vile actions. The only character I've ever made for evil was an evil one-shot. That was a bit selfish, but even I couldn't keep that up most of the time. Don't most, if not all, people put some of their personality into their characters? And if so, what does it mean to want to play a racist or worse?
So, when you were just genuinely talking about like an evil character, I don't think playing an evil character is inherently a bad thing.
Yeah.
But I think, man, it's such a fine line. Because like we do want to sometimes tackle some of these bigger problems like in the world, like racism, like transphobia, like misogyny, like bigotry, like all of these things that, you know, we hate and don't want to see in the world. Sometimes we put those things in our game to you know, like maybe overcome and maybe like tear down these things that we don't want to see. But if you just literally make a character and you're like, I hate black people, it's like, well,
yeah.
Like...
I think there's. I always say this. I think the intent matters.
Yeah.
And I think this is this. I think making the blanket statement if you want to play a shitty character, that's an IRL red flag. I think that's wrong. I think that's too much of a blanket statement.
There's two different things here.
Yeah.
Because shitty character could be likes to steal.
Yeah.
You know, doesn't really care for anyone around them.
Selfish.
Selfish. And then, you know, as the campaign goes on, those walls break down. They get closer to this party, this like ragtag group of adventurers that they've sort of just attached themselves along with as a means to an end, and then realize that they're good people, and then has been like introduced to these different walks of life, and then has begun to care for those people around them. I love that trope, actually. I think that's a really cool trope. But yeah, just being a racist, just being a misogynist, and stuff like that is completely different.
I agree. And I also think like a distinguishing factor here is I completely understand what OP says here. All my characters, they have aspects of me. And I think the important distinguisher is not everyone does that.
Not everyone does that.
And not everyone has to do that.
Yeah.
Like that isn't how it has to be. Some people want to just completely detach themselves. And yeah, of course, there's always an element of it's your character. So your character is you and there's some input, but you know, you can make a character completely separate from yourself because you want to be someone else. You want to explore something else.
Yeah. Like go on.
It's like writing a book in a way, like writing a character for a book, like saying that someone who wrote a murderer in a book and saying that like, so that's you, like that's a red flag because you're writing about a murderer. It's like, it's not.
No,
it's not.
No, it's not. And as a dungeon master, if somebody comes to me and they're like, "Yeah, I'm gonna make a character who hates elves," like I hate all elves. I think they're all selfish because of their long lifespans and stuff like that. I'm a human, and you know, like, and I would basically say to them, "Okay," and I imagine that throughout the campaign, those biases are going to be revealed to be, you know, not real because you're going to meet elves along the way that are kind, that are nice, and not all elves are the same. And that's the point of the journey of the journey, like to break it down and understand that it's not all elves. It's just those group of elves that did something horrible to your family or something like that. And if they were then to turn to me and were like, "Nah, I just hate elves," I'd be like, this character's bad and we're not playing it.
I think that's it. It's intent, right? Because the thing is, OP opens up with saying, you see people saying they want to play bad characters that grow out of it. I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with that.
I think
having the intention of wanting to grow
is good.
Is the important factor.
Yeah.
It's if you come in and you go, "No, my character just hates women."
Yeah.
Well then you suck.
Yeah.
Then you suck, bro. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I think that if anybody came to me and said my character just hates women, it would just be instantly no.
I agree.
But you know, because
that is a red flag to me.
That's a red flag.
That's a red flag.
But if somebody comes in and they say they hate a specific race because of something that happened to them, you know, maybe all of the elves were women, and that's why. But I think it's different with the whole like fantasy racism over fantasy misogyny.
I agree. I think fantasy misogyny is still misogyny.
It's still just misogyny.
Yeah, I think, you know, because there's real life women, there isn't real life elves. You know?
Exactly. I think it's all right.
Yeah, I think you know, maybe that was a I was gonna say that was a bad example, but no, it wasn't, because I think if anyone came in saying, "Yeah, my character hates women," you'd be like, "Nah, I don't.
Why?
That's not right." Yeah,
let's just hate something else.
Yeah, totally.
And yeah, I think, and then you know, again, if somebody comes to my game and we've got all of these races, we've got dragonborns and orcs and Aarakocras and all of these different races, and then somebody comes in and then they're like, "Oh yeah, my character hates black people."
Exactly.
It's like,
yes,
no.
Exactly.
Like no matter what.
Yeah, 100%.
That's just a no.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Like,
it's even things like the transphobia and you know, queer, like hating queer people. I think, you know, there's a line 100% where there's not, you hate an elf, there's no real person involved in that. You know, you say you hate a woman, there's a real life like implication to that. And I think it's all about intent. Honestly, I think it's all about intent. And I think wanting to play a shitty character, in my opinion, doesn't make you a red flag, as long as you do have the intention of wanting to grow out of it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
Do you think this is unpopular?
Yeah, because I'd like to think that the fantasy TTRPG community is good enough to understand, is nuanced enough to understand that just because bias is at the beginning of the campaign doesn't mean bias is at the end of the campaign.
Yeah.
And and we can actually tell a nuanced story with the good intentions and for the right reasons to tackle some like really important subjects.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. The next one is simply combat rating is for new GMs, not forever.
Ooh. I think the opposite. I think the combat rating can actually be utilized far better by more experienced dungeon masters.
Yeah.
I don't know. It depends, because a new dungeon master is such a wide scope, because it could have been somebody who's played for 10 years and then is like, I'm going to play.
Yes.
I'm going to play the game, but I'm going to play as a dungeon master.
Yeah.
And they probably understand combat rating to a far different degree of somebody who's just like, hey, I'm going to play D&D for the first time ever, and I'm going to be a dungeon master. And then they see CR1 and they're like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
Oh, I've got a party of 2 people. This says CR1. That means for level 1. That's not how it's going to work. And then CR's never been a particularly great balanced thing anyway. So, I disagree.
Yeah, that's
I
See,
disagree.
Again, I'm not a dungeon master, so I don't necessarily understand like CR and everything. But I think CR. I'm assuming what this is saying is CR can be used as a crutch initially, but then you can move away from it as you.
If you are a party of 4 having 6 combats a day, then you can use CR probably as a decent metric.
Yeah.
Because something, a party of 4 that just fights one CR1 creature at level 1, they'll destroy it. Because the point is that they're not supposed to fight just one thing.
Yeah.
They're supposed to fight 6 of those combats.
Yeah. And
then, be whittled down to the point where at the end of the day, that last combat is actually really tough.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then, like that's so much knowledge for
yes.
somebody to take on as a new dungeon master.
Yeah, because you're not a big fan of CR anyway.
No, I'm not. I think CR's actually a little bit worthless.
Yeah, I feel like that's a split opinion. I feel like people either love CR,
but the thing
or
is,
they hate CR.
But the thing is, the people who love CR, like I know that I could probably my party of level 4 level 6s. Could probably take on a CR10, CR9, maybe even CR11 if we push it, creature, if it was the only combat in the day.
Yeah.
So, but I know that. But then I would still skirt through the stat block and be like, oh, that's maybe a bit much.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to make this a little bit more dangerous.
Yeah.
Because I understand how to balance the counters. So I still almost use it, but just not in the way it's intended.
Yeah.
But then if I'm running a dungeon crawl, like, we do need to make things... we did 6 combats in a day, and I still probably used higher CR things than were recommended.
Yeah,
but that's because I understood every step of the way how many resources you had, how many healing potions you had, how many rests you could take. You had an NPC with you, so that actually made you a little bit more.
Yeah.
So it's all of these factors.
Yeah.
I actually think it's too complicated for a new dungeon master.
That's fair. That's fair. I wish I could have more input on that one. But what do you think? What do you reckon about CRs for new GMs, not forever? I'd like to know.
I think it's. Everyone uses it in a different way.
Yeah.
It's a metric that is used individually by each dungeon master for a different reason.
Yeah,
totally.
So
it's not a good metric.
Yeah.
So it could be used by a new dungeon master, but they could also be like, this is trash.
Yeah, that's fair. I feel like that's so many different tools in the game.
Yeah,
that's fair. That's fair. Right, the next one is... races are just a crutch. If you can't make an interesting human, a tail or wings aren't going to make your character interesting. I have so many opinions on this.
Go on, then I'll pop off.
I hate the rhetoric online that your character's worth is tied to how interesting they are. Like, of course, everyone wants to create an interesting character.
Yeah.
Of course they do. But
I think anyone sits out and says, man, I can't want to make a boring character.
But interesting is so subjective.
Yeah.
And interesting changes. And I think in order to be interesting, you have to have the mundane about you too. The mundane makes you more interesting. Your flaws make your skills more interesting, and your skills make your flaws more of a detriment. I hate the idea that it's like, oh, anyone who plays a tiefling, anyone who plays a tabaxi, you're just trying to be interesting. And it's like, no, people can just like things.
People can just like the aesthetic of things.
People can just like things.
Like I think it's so weird to say that you only play races that aren't like human or elf or dwarf or stuff like that because you want to be interesting. It's like we play a game where we can look like anything, and all of these things exist and aesthetically.
Yeah.
Most people pick a race for aesthetics, and then power comes secondary.
Yeah.
Then you get the power gamers who pick for the racial abilities, and then they just choose however they look.
Yeah.
So I think that's a bit.
And all this says to me is and by the way, there's so many takes on the internet like this. Like people, again, it's no surprise. People hate races outside of the standard PHB races. Hate them with a burning passion because they I think it kind of honestly it falls into the woke liberal you want to play something that like has ears type thing. But when I hear a take like this,
trans.
and you're a furry,
like
when I hear a take like this, I'm like, hey, all I'm hearing is that you're judging other people and you're comparing their level of interesting to what you perceive as important, and respectfully, your opinion doesn't matter.
It doesn't though. It's like if the character is interesting to that person,
I agree.
Just because it's not interesting to you doesn't mean it's not interesting.
I completely agree.
And what this says to me is, I think I have really interesting characters.
I have really interesting characters.
And then I just play a human because my backstory speaks for itself. I'm so interesting.
I don't need all these extra things to be interesting, actually.
Boring.
And again, obviously we don't know Opie's intent here, and this was found on a thread of unpopular opinions. But
you're coming in pretty hot, so I think you should expect a bit of heat.
Yeah, I just think this falls into some of the elitism, I think.
I agree.
And I don't want to say gatekeeping, but it
is gatekeeping.
Yeah, I mean it is.
It's gatekeeping to we only at my table we play humans, dwarves, elves, gnomes.
But even outside of that, just saying if you're not good enough at making a backstory to make a human interesting, you're not good enough to make a tiefling interesting.
Yeah.
Tiefling isn't making you interesting.
Yeah.
And it's like, who gives a fuck, bro?
Who fucking cares?
Who cares?
Like literally, and the thing is, you want at your table, you want to play a human, dwarf, or an elf, and that's all that you
100%,
fine,
absolutely.
But if it's just because it's canon to your world, but you don't ban them because if you can't make these interesting, then you can't make anything interesting. It's like that's a shit reason to pick just those three.
And also, newsflash: people in this world, there's a lot of them that don't do things for other people's approval.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who make a character because they like the character, not because they're trying to be interesting or trying to impress anyone. And I think, as humans, our worlds center around ourselves naturally. So I get it. I get why someone could have a take like this, but people don't make characters for you.
Yeah.
People make characters for themselves.
When I make my character, it's because I find it interesting.
Yeah, I
and
agree.
It has nothing to do with you.
I completely agree.
And if you don't think it's interesting,
that's okay.
Doesn't matter because
that's all right.
It's not your backstory.
That's okay. That's fine. And this, you know what? And if you're sat there judging other people for how interesting their characters are, maybe focus on yourself.
Yeah.
And this is what we always say. I promise, no one is really judging you.
No.
Apart from it's a minority of people who would judge you, and it's like anything. When someone judges someone so hard, it's because they feel judged themselves. And I promise, players, dungeon masters, your friends, the other people at your table, they're not judging you.
No,
they
shouldn't be.
They shouldn't be. And if they are, that's on them.
They're a dreadful player.
Yeah,
that's
that's on them. Do you think this is an unpopular opinion?
Yeah,
I disagree with it. Because I've spent too long on this Reddit, I think a lot of people agree with this.
I think anyone with a brain would disagree with
this.
I
know. Yeah, I agree.
I think
people hate other races.
Yeah, because people are stupid. I'm being honest. If you have this opinion, I think you are emotionally unintelligent, and that's just my take.
That's fair. That's completely fair.
I think you think the world revolves around you and nobody else. And just because something isn't your flavor doesn't mean it can't be somebody else's flavor.
Everything, it's so subjective.
And it's just this is hey, we're playing this game to have fun.
Yeah, and for a bit of escapism.
Let's have some fun. And if somebody else is having fun, but you wouldn't have fun in that way, does it matter?
Yeah.
Does it matter?
If you're gonna switch off when it comes to someone's backstory, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, it's just I think you're a shit player.
I don't know what to tell you.
If you turn off as soon as somebody else's backstory comes up because it's not yours, you're a shit player.
Yeah, I agree. And
that's just the hard truth.
Yeah. I agree.
Them's just the hard truths.
Yeah. Right, this next one is a little bit of a longer one. And this opinion is, player backgrounds are almost always a useless waste of time, and they tend to fluff them out way too much. Summarize your background in a few sentences, then create a little cheat sheet of important information, like your allies, enemies, etc., organizations, that the DM can use if they want to add a little personalization to your game. Then, focus on making a character. Your personality is not your background. Your personality is ideologies, belief system, tastes in various things, quirks, and so on. After that, add details into the character history as you go. Improvise a little bit in game. For example, John was born in the capital city, but raised on a farm outside of the city proper. That's a good piece of information. What we don't need to add, John was born on the farm and spent ages 3 to 10 learning how to plant food, milk cows, clean the chicken coops, etc. This is information that's important and you can bring it up in game, but no one needs to know this by spending time on your background. You meet a farmer NPC who you mention you also were raised on a farm. They ask if you know how to milk a cow. You say yes, but no new questions because you spent 17 years of your life on a farm. It matters, but focusing on this level of detail during character creation is distracting. Focus on your character's personality first.
Okay. So I think there's a middle ground here that we are missing. The middle ground is, I agree that when people hand a Dungeon Master a 20-page backstory and they're like, here you go, Dungeon Master, can you read all of this and incorporate it into the game? It's just like, yo, that's just too much.
Yeah.
Like, us Dungeon Masters have way too much already going on to be dealing with that. I think there is 2 backstories you should write if you were interested in doing this. Some people can just write one backstory, it not be super long, hand to the Dungeon Master and have a great time. But the people who do like to write lengthy backstories, you need to write that out. Write those 40 pages.
Absolutely.
Get those family trees
write
in
the
there.
novella.
Get every NPC. Get what your hometown looks like.
Totally.
All those things. If that's what you want to do, you do it. But then you take out all of the really important story beats that you actually want to further in this campaign, and you summarize them, and then you say, Dungeon Master, here's the like things that you need to know.
Yeah.
Here's the stack of pages that is my flavor.
Yeah.
If you want it, let me know, but you don't need it. This is just more for me.
This is for me. Yeah.
And that's what you need to do.
I agree. I think, honestly, I think, seriously, that kind of aligns with what OP said here,
I
to
agree,
be honest with you.
But I think
OP's kind of saying, like, don't do the backstory bit at all, but I think there is a middle ground, I think.
Which I think, is why I said that.
I agree. I think, honestly, doing that middle ground is a really healthy way to get, because, look, we all love our characters. We all do. We love our characters. We love thinking about our characters naturally. Like, and I've never really been the one to go really deep into backstories. I could be. I could be, but I focus it in different ways. The obsession of my character.
Yeah, and you also, you write your backstory. You give me a list of like prominent NPCs and things like that. Then you make playlists. Then you make like the what's it called?
My mood board.
The mood boards. Then you get like different art styles of your character, like envisioned in different ways.
Yeah.
Sometimes we do like different outfits and stuff like that. And it's like, that's your way of expressing yourself in your character.
And it's so valid if the way you want to express yourself with your character is writing a huge back. Yeah, it is. Like, I can't stress enough to you how much that is valid, and that's okay. It's just how you present that information to the DM. I agree with OP.
Yeah.
I really do. I also think, you never want to tell people what to do, and you never want to say like, oh, just simply do this. I think there's a middle ground, but
yeah.
I think I agree. Your character's personality is going to be the things that are at the forefront, I would say 90% of the time. Let's be honest with you.
I agree.
And their backstory doesn't necessarily equate to their personality. Of course, it's context, right? Their backstory is context to why they act like this. But I think it's important. I think both are important.
But I do agree. It's like, I think there is a middle ground. But I do think that people spend far more time writing their backstories when they should be making a character personality.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think a lot of people come to the table and they're like, oh, how do I play my character? It's just like, I think the problem is you've written a backstory, but you don't know who your character is.
Yeah, and I think it's porting that information from the backstory. Because the thing is, there is a whole personality left within that backstory.
Yeah,
Definitely.
that backstory will define. It could define
Yeah.
you. It doesn't say it always will, but it
Yeah.
could define you as a character.
Also, there's like taste, like OP says, like what's their ideologies? What do they believe
Yeah.
in? What are their tastes in things? What are their quirks? Like what do they like? What do they dislike? Like all of those things, I think, really like mold a character.
I agree.
And I think it's okay to improvise that too. I think as you get into game, it's okay for your character to be in a situation and you go, what does my character think here? And then make a whole personality trait based on something that you said there. You know,
Yeah.
I think that's okay. I think that's part of the game.
I agree. I think a lot of people do improvise and it does go well, but I think there's a lot of people who do, come away from the game being like, I just don't feel like I can get into character. And I think the issue is we haven't really thought about the personality.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think you can have your backstory shape it and really like define some fundamentals.
It's like real life.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It's like things that have happened to you and things that you've been through.
Yeah, they shape you.
The time that you grew up in, the music that you listened to, it's all defined you. It's like, did your character like hear a bard play like specific songs in your local tavern, and then you like began to love like folktales and stuff like that, and that's like something that defines your character.
Yeah, totally.
Like every time we get to a new town, you go to the local tavern not because you want to go and get wasted drunk. You want to see what the bard's like. It's like that's a personality trait.
Yeah, I agree.
You love music.
Yeah.
You love hearing the tales and what towns and stuff like that have got to tell. And I think sometimes we don't think of those things. We just think of a backstory.
Yeah, totally. And I think there's a good middle ground. And also not to say that it's just because you have a backstory and don't have a personality isn't a bad thing. Like, look, we've all been there. I get it. I totally
we all
get
make the mistake.
But I think if you find that you're feeling like this, you have a character and you have a great backstory, a fleshed out backstory, but you're like, man, what does my character actually think? Like, I implore you, put together a mood board, put together a playlist. Like, you can go on Google and just search like 50 questions to ask yourself when writing a character, mainly for like authors, etc. But like things like that seriously really help. And it's okay to improvise as you go. You're not putting yourself into a box if you make a decision on the fly, because nothing's permanent and you can change your opinion as well as you go. And if you go into a story thinking that you have an idea for your character, God, your character changes so much throughout a campaign.
Yeah.
And your character changes the second they go from being in your brain box to being at the table and they interact with the party.
100%.
They change.
And
that's okay.
And that's fine.
Yeah, I agree. So do you think this is unpopular? I was going to say unimportant.
As
my God.
As a hot take, I actually think it really does hit on some important.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree.
Things.
And I like the way that it was worded.
Yeah.
It was not worded in a judgmental way.
I don't fully agree with it.
Yeah.
I think that like it is a little one-sided, but I think the side that it airs on is actually quite important.
Yeah.
So I think that I do agree with it. Yeah.
Yeah. The next one is, if you're rolling with advantage, don't expect cheers for a natural 20. What the hell? Man, what? No.
I mean,
no.
I get it.
I don't care. I could have triple advantage. I do have triple advantage. And I'm going to cheer every single time, baby.
Yeah, but I think it's, It's like, so here's the equivalent that I think of when I think of this exact take is in Valorant, in the FPS tactical shooter that I play. If you get an ace when the other team is on an eco, like they can't buy good shields or good guns, and you're just walking around with the best gun in the game, and then you ace, don't expect me to celebrate your ace that much.
I'm gonna celebrate it. I'm gonna stand up and scream like an animal. If
my friends or my wife get that ace, I'm like, woo! But if I'm watching pro players ace against an eco, I'm like, as is.
I'm gonna be fucking howling at the moon.
What if it's the team you hate against the team you love?
Then I don't see it. And I pretend I don't see
it.
But
I get it. If you get a natural 20 when you've got advantage, it's not as spectacular than when you roll that one dice.
I agree, but I'm still screaming.
But I'm still celebrating.
I'm still screaming.
I want my players to succeed. Yeah. So when they hit a natty 20, I'm like, woo!
Yeah, I'm still screaming. I really am. I actually rolled with advantage the other day and I got 2 natural 20s.
You did.
Which felt pretty good.
You did. It was very impressive.
That was a screaming moment.
that was pretty cool.
Look,
I think that's still a really cool thing to happen.
Tiny monkey brain, see big number. Tiny monkey brain happy. Yeah. Doesn't matter. I could be rolling 50 dice. Yeah. And if I get 1 natural 20, monkey brain going, yay! Woo! Woo! What do you think?
Very good.
What do you think?
Very good.
I get it, but I'm screaming no matter what.
Yeah.
It's like, even if when you're rolling with a disadvantage, you still get a 1. It's still devastating.
Yeah.
Like it's
I get it.
big number go yay.
Woohoo!
The next one is there's 2 in this, which kind of are adjacent, so I'm going to read them together. All editions are valid, and no one is trying to take your D&D away from you.
My God, what a level-headed
Yeah,
opinion.
I know.
Imagine.
Wow.
They're trying to change my game.
No.
Hey,
No.
5e is there
Yeah, you don't have
for
to
you
buy
to
it.
play
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah.
You don't want to play 2024?
Yeah.
Don't.
Hey, you don't want to
No
play
one
5e.
cares.
You still want to play 4 or 3.5.
You want to play 3.5?
You can do that.
Go for it. Hey, you want to play Pathfinder?
Yeah. Oh,
Go crazy.
You can do that.
These games exist so you can play them.
Totally.
But there's a lot of people who, want to play the new thing.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
when a new game comes out.
Yeah.
I'm just not going to never play that game because the game that I play all the time is still out. It's
Yeah.
like we enjoy new things.
Yeah,
We might get some iterations that we love. We might play an amalgamation.
Yeah.
But just because a new game comes out doesn't mean anyone's forcing.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean anyone's taking
Yeah,
away.
I know. Doesn't
Doesn't
mean that you're
mean-
the victim in this, I'm afraid.
Oh, but we love to be the victim.
Yeah, like I think no one's trying to take your D&D away from you. No, like everything changes. That's life. Everything evolves. Everything gets added onto. Everything gets explored.
Yeah.
Like,
But the thing is, now the 5th edition isn't the new thing anymore, and 2024 is,
Yeah.
or whatever they want to call it.
yeah,
5.24
yeah,
or whatever. 5th edition isn't the new thing anymore, so it's cool to play 5th edition. But when 5th edition was out, 3.5 was the cool thing to play because we don't like playing the new thing. So it's just like everything new will be old at some point.
yeah, of course.
So just play whatever you want.
Yeah, I agree. I
Just
think
play
like
whatever you enjoy.
totally. And if you do not vibe with 2024 rules, because I can understand someone going from 3.5 to 2024, I can understand.
That's a shock.
It's a big change. And when you're doing such huge incremental jumps like that, yeah, I get it. I'm sure that there's people who go from 2014 to 2024 who don't like the changes, and that's okay.
Yeah,
you do not
fine.
have to use them. Just because it is the current system doesn't mean you have to. It's like, wow.
Nobody's forcing you.
Yeah, it's like World of Warcraft. There is so many different versions of World of Warcraft.
Until 2019, it was a little different because we didn't have the options.
Yes, but now the options are there.
Yeah.
And it's the same with Dungeons & Dragons. If you want to play retail WoW, you can. If you want to play classic WoW,
You want to play hardcore.
can.
You want to play a Mr. Pandaria classic.
And
you can play whatever you want.
They're not mutually exclusive, and you can do whatever you want. And the thing is, I actually think D&D is far more fluid than that, because if you want to play 5th edition and you want to add 2024 rules in and you want to pick and choose, you can.
Yeah.
If you want to homebrew something, you can. If you want to remove something, you can. There is no one stopping you playing the version of D&D that you love.
That you love.
In the way you love. And there's always going to be people. Always.
But like, it's, if no new material ever came out, it's the sad reality. It's like, yeah, you might still play 3 and 5 until the day you, 3.5 until the day you die, but the hobby would die.
Yeah, no, I agree. You have to evolve.
You have to
expand.
evolve. You have to release new things.
Like that's
to keep people interested, to bring new people into the
Yeah.
hobby. It's like just being like, why are they making more? It's like, because they don't want the game to die. And, capitalism. But, that's a side note.
Yeah, but, being like, oh, yeah, these wokies coming in and making the game really easy. And, oh, God, I remember back in the day. And it's like, you can still have back in the day.
You can start back in the day.
You
And the
can
thing
still
is,
have it.
you say easy. I would argue it's actually harder now. But it's different. It's just different.
Yeah,
and that's just my opinion.
And, like, it's the same as games, like video games. Back when video games first came out, no one had any experience. Everyone was doing the best they could with no information. Now, we live in a world where there's a plethora of information.
Oh.
So,
like, literally take, like you said, classic WoW. Like, those original bosses came out. They when some of those original bosses came out, Ragnaros, Cthulhu, like, they didn't die for the first time for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of days.
Yeah.
We log back into Classic WoW now.
Same
Ragnaros
day.
goes down day one.
Same day. You know, like
Literally,
times change, people
Times change.
Like,
People change. We
yeah.
get better at things as we go on.
Yeah. And, you know, I understand how looking back at it from a lens of 3.5, maybe, second edition, being like, yeah, the game's so easy nowadays. But it's like people just have so much more information now.
So much. It's just a different game.
And the longer something's out, the more people will understand and optimize.
Leveling in Classic WoW is really hard.
Yeah.
Leveling in retail is really easy.
Yeah.
End game in Classic WoW is actually really easy. End game in retail is unbelievably hard.
Yeah.
They're just difficult at different things.
Yeah, totally.
Like the reason why we play the game has changed.
Yeah, absolutely.
People don't want the same thing every single edition.
Yeah.
The game evolves. The game gets harder here, but easier there.
Yeah.
But the thing that you loved is now easy, but the thing that we love is now hard.
Yeah.
So it's just different.
And it doesn't matter.
Doesn't mean it
doesn't matter.
Bad.
Just
Nobody's
because
making you play it.
Yeah, I think that's it. You know, I think that's a really important thing to remember. Is no one is trying to take D&D away from you. No one has taken D&D away from you. The only person who has is you. If you feel like you cannot play the game that you want to play anymore, and you feel like, I don't know, like no one's forcing you to pick up a new book.
No,
you know,
nobody's making you buy the new edition.
No, and
if you want to buy it, buy it.
And sure, I understand that the majority probably play the new edition, so it's probably harder to find people to play. I do understand that. I do sympathize with that.
I do sympathize with that point, yeah.
But you don't have to do anything you don't want to do.
Yeah.
You know? In life. So
in life.
What do you think? Do you think that's an unpopular opinion?
Again, the pessimist in me is just like some people would think that's an unpopular opinion.
Yeah, people. Yeah, of course. Not, you know,
and some people would think that that's a bad opinion.
Yeah.
But I think that's actually a super level-headed, based opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I think that's one of the most level-headed opinions we've had, to be honest with you. So this is the last one. This is the last one of the episode. And it is simply, I don't do group leveling. If you come to more sessions, you'll get more XP. It's as simple as that.
Fair. If that's the way you want to play your game.
And everyone agrees to it.
Fair. But let me just chuck a spanner in the works of what if somebody gets sick?
Yeah, hey, life. Hey,
what if life gets in the way?
Hey, life.
And they can't attend the session.
Yeah.
And they fall behind and they feel bad because they're less powerful because their car broke down and they couldn't turn.
Yeah, totally. It's one of these things where
I think,
like, and again, if everyone agrees to this is obviously totally fine.
It's all well and good saying it. But if I turn up to your session and I'm upset because I have, my car did break down and I couldn't turn up to sessions for 3 weeks and now I'm a level behind and everyone's got all these cool new magic items and now I feel a little bit useless. If you don't feel bad, I think you're a bit heartless. Personally.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think it's one of these things where, like, on paper, fair enough. On paper, okay, fine. If everyone, I wouldn't ever want to play in a game like this.
Sounds good on paper, but like, let's put it into practice.
In practice, where, we're talking about real people, real friends, most likely, like, who, I can only look at it through my lens. We're all adults. We're all friends. And if we did this and someone's family member died or they didn't get enough money that week from work, they have been sick, they were on holiday, they had to go to an event, they were away for work, like, we all play this game to have fun. And the moment that we're letting things outside of the game impact things in the game that are completely unavoidable, and the second someone's showing signs of not having fun, I think it's important to bend the rule.
Yeah.
Like, in my opinion.
Who are we serving by making that person have a worse time at the game?
Completely. I also think there's 1,000 caveats to this.
There's
there could be someone who just actually doesn't want to play D&D and,
who's lazy as fuck.
Who skips the sessions every week and, sure, okay, I get it. But I think if we're thinking on I would say a normal level of play with a group of friends who all get together and look forward to this game every week or however often you play, and something happens in that person's life, good, bad, whatever, something happens that's completely out of their control, and then they get
punished.
to a game and they have a worse time because of it. But that's obviously exploring the worst case scenario. But I think this is fine if everyone agrees to it. But I also think that there's nuance in everything.
Yeah, I agree.
And this is too black and white for me.
It's too black and white for me.
Yeah.
It's too black and white for me. Because, like, I would be stressing
Me too.
Like, if I miss a session, I'd be stressing because I'm like, man, I'm going to fall behind here.
Yeah.
And, you know, you said no matter what. And, like, it's just like, but if you were super level-headed about it, it's like, if I just didn't turn up because I couldn't be asked, then, yeah, I deserve to fall behind. But if I can't turn up because I've got too many things on in my personal life, and, you know, somebody's ill or somebody dies or my dog is sick or, like, I can't afford to, my car breaks down, like, I've got family obligations or something like that, and then I fall behind, then I think it's a shit roll.
Yeah. And I think, yeah, I agree. I think it's too black and white for me, to be honest.
I think maybe we got hurt by somebody not being bothered, and now we're like making this really stupid rule because of.
We don't know that.
But that's what it says to me.
Yeah.
So if we apply like empathy to the rule, then I think it's a good rule.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I think on paper it sounds like, and I also think it's the type of thing that kind of gets said at the beginning of a session, like a campaign, and everyone goes, yeah, that's fair. Yeah, all right, cool, fine. But then actually in practice it probably feels really fucking bad.
Yeah, I agree.
To be honest with you. What do you think? I'd be interested to know. I've got such an itchy nose.
Oh my god. Take an antihistamine.
I will.
You woke the dog up. I mean, we're about to finish now. So
I woke the dog
What's your
up
tail
by
doing?
yelling. Oh, what is your tail doing? Let's put that down, shall we?
Stinky boom.
Okay. Wow.
Thanks so much for hanging around.
Yeah.
If you made it this far,
I would like to know what you thought of any. Sorry, if any of these unpopular.
I would also like to. So make sure you comment down below. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like the video. It helps out a lot. If you want to support us, please make sure that you check out our Patreon or become a YouTube member here on YouTube. Thank you all so much.
Yes, we are streaming on Twitch right now. Come on over. We're doing something fun, probably.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
I love you.
Oh, Bully loves you. No, I also love you.
Bully loves you.
Yeah.
We've been the Eldritch Podblast, and we're going to see you on Monday.
Bye.